A big shakeup at a large Duluth-based business has left more than a dozen people unemployed. Fashion giant Maurices announced they're laying off 43 employees this week, including 14 at their Duluth headquarters. That's about 10% of their corporate staff. Officials with Maurices say the layoffs are part of a change in how the company develops its product. In a statement to Northern News Now, Maurices added they handled the layoffs with as much humanity as possible, and reducing their team is painful. The statement went on to say they're not immune to challenges facing many companies, and this decision was about preserving the long-term sustainability of the organization.